especially now, like I think in Western culture, like a lot of the younger generation who are like coming up through schools and college, they just focus on the wealth.
Yeah.
And the other three are out the window.
Mm.
And I don't know. I'm trying to like speak out to try and change it. Like having money is good, but if you got loads of money and none of those free, you're not really going to be that happy.
It's like, I don't want to sound like this guy that's like, oh, it's not really that important. Do you know what I mean? Because that it is important. Money is very important to life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and as I said earlier, like I've been very poor and I've had like next to nothing other than, you know, the bare fundamentals of what's required in life, like family and stuff like that. I've been very, you know, but I have hit a rock bottom where I had no money, like nothing. Like, in fact, I was in my overdraft by like, with no foresight as to how I was getting out of this overdraft. Yeah, I've been there. And I've also been in a place where I've got money, like we're financially, I'm okay for now, you know, and everything can change, you know, you can lose everything,
100%.
like, you know, but I'm good, and you need to get to that point before you realize just how invaluable money can be for some situations. Like, money doesn't solve my fertility problem. Money doesn't solve my stress problem. Money doesn't solve my mum's, thankfully she's still very well, but if my mum was to get ill, money does not solve that problem for us. You know, if your friend steals from you and betrays you or something, money doesn't solve that problem. So money gets you to a certain point, but it's not valuable for many other situations. And there are plenty of other podcasts and successful people that will tell you exactly the same thing. And someone who's sitting in a room with absolutely no money and can't afford to feed their children would say, you know, rich of you to say that, like, you know, but I've had no money. I've had access to money. I would much rather be the guy with money than without money, but I would also much rather be the guy that's happy and not versus not happy.
I'm a big believer that like entrepreneurs that have started with poverty and nothing often are the best in whatever field they choose to be in, because they know what it's like to be like either homeless or struggling to have food, to then go to have enough money to live the life that they want. Whereas people who kind of like just walk straight into it, they don't know the struggle of what's there. And
actually, like, even on the subject of money, like, it's what you do with that money. I know some people. I've got some very, very rich friends. They spend their money on so much shit, but they've got a job, their job pays very well, and they spend it on just shit. And I've got some people that live very humbly and have so much. It's not about how much comes in; it's about how much is at the end once you've done with your month. You can make £100,000 a year, but if you spend £110,000 every year, you're broke. You could be on £30,000 a year, but if you spend £20,000 a year, you've got £10,000 worth of money to do something with. That might be invest. That might be spend on a holiday. That might be, you know, there's so many. It's what you do with the money that's at the end. You know, and you see people living very wealthy lives. As when you interviewed like Aaron, for example, you know, and you have that conversation with Aaron, he's all on living a prosperous, wealthy life. And focusing on wealth. Because it's what you do with that money at the end. You know, some people like, I've got people that, you know, you could put on an extra £5,000 a year, £10,000 a year. It's going to get spent on more weed. We know that, You've got that guy, you've got that friend, we're getting a higher grade weed, Or you'll get another friend that you'll get another person, and again, £10,000 pay rise, like they'll just blow it on a better car, But that doesn't make your life any better. But you've just blown that, bro. You just spent all that money. You haven't invested it. Like, spend that. Like, for me, every single time I've got to a certain point, I'd love to have more money, but it's only to be able to invest more. It's only to be able to spend on me more, on my knowledge, or give to charity. Like, you know, whenever, you know, we give so much money to charity, like, you know, but someone with more money probably wouldn't do that. They, you know, like they wouldn't invest it. They wouldn't know what to do with it, you know? So yeah, you do need to make money, but it's what you do with that money that's important in life.
100%.
Money doesn't solve that problem. It doesn't solve, if you have an insecurity problem where you're insecure on the way that you look or the way that the things that you wear or stuff like that. If you really have that insecurity problem, the moment I put you on another £10,000 a year, you're going to spend it on something that might solve that problem short term, but doesn't solve your long term solution of wealth and solving the money problem from now on. So
yeah, I would say, well, like I would class wealth and money two separate things.
Very separate. Yeah.
I wouldn't say just because someone's a millionaire does not mean they're wealthy.
No.
Like you could have someone who's on minimum wage, has like a family, a roof over their heads, and they're happy. I could class that as wealthy.
Yes.
And
I think you're right. It's all down to, you know, how you interpret wealth. Yeah. But there are the health, wealth, love, and happiness. You know, you've got what do you spend on health? Yeah. How do you eat? Yeah. You know, how do you hydrate? How do you educate your kids on food? You know, what do you spend your money on? And then so I think the important thing is, what do I spend my money on? And if you're going to get a pay rise and the only thing you're going to do is buy a better car, cool. But don't go back to your boss and ask for more fucking money because you didn't invest the last bit on. Now, if you ask for a pay rise or you get given a pay rise, and you spend that money on going on another course to get you to the next level, to help the organization get to the next level, bro, that for me, like, that's money well spent. Yeah, that's money well invested. You know, we spend that on maybe moving out and getting a nicer house. Maybe for some people, property is a good investment for some people. Maybe you want to take your family on that long-awaited vacation that you've been promising them for 10 years, bro. Money well spent. You know, but it's really frustrating for me when I see people spend their hard-earned money on something that, you know, that they probably, on reflection, should have spent it on something that would have bettered them. Because what I do is every single time I get a little bit more money, I just spend it on something that's going to better me or the people around me. That's what I do. I love that part, like the fact that and that's why I'm hungry for more money, because I'm like, right, what other charity can I help out? What other philanthropical thing can I do? What other thing can I invest in? Like, we just bought another van and chipper, as you saw on social media the other day, you know, like, that's another team that's going out. Like, yeah, I could have just spent that £50,000 on that van on something else, you know, or leverage it. You know, so I've decided to leverage it because it's within the best interest of the business and everyone around me that I create an organization that is going to be here for the next 25, 30 years. And I provide so much value to my clients and those around me that that money should be spent on that, not me going out and buying a fucking really expensive watch. Do you know what I mean? Or me going out and buying another car or blowing it on a 50K on a holiday. You know, and 50K is just the van. So you got the chipper on the other side, and that's £20,000, and then all the tools inside it as well. That's another £5,000, and then you've got the staff on top of that, which is like another 30K, 25K plus every year. And then on top of that, the damages. On top of that, the insurance. On top of that, the marketing, the staff in the background to support that. So you have to look at everything from the bigger picture. You have to look at things in a way that, is it best for the future if I do it this way, or if I should I just cash in right now? I'm in no way to cash in. I'm all in growth mode. You should, hopefully there are I'm going out there to fucking win. I'm going out there to fucking dominate. And if you're on my team, we're going to win together. If you're not on my team, I'm going to rip your fucking face off. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm going for the win. And whatever I don't want, you can have the scraps. That's the kind of energy I have to be. Yeah. And the way that you do that is when you get a little bit of something, leverage it for the better for everybody in the team. Not cash in and just, you know, do something stupid with it.
Yeah, I think if the sole goal of starting a business is money, then you're not going to be on top of the game. You got to be truly passionate about what you do. Yeah. To make it into the top 5 or the top spot.
Bro, I'm aiming for the top spot, bro. Like, I just want the top, yeah? And I want to find the best people in this industry. I don't want to work with them. and I want them to be on my team.
Yeah.
And I think they should, and they should win too. And we should find out what's important to that person in their life at that moment in time, and we should get them on our team. And when that person's on board, make sure we're facilitating what is important to them in that moment in time. You know, I'm always trying to learn about the people that are on my team. I'm always trying, you know, and try and take time out every now and again to maybe do an appraisal or sit down with that particular employee and find out what's important to that. Because what was important to that person 5 years ago when they first started out with us is not different, is not what they're going for now. You know, I think Tony Robbins just talks about the 6 needs, like the 6 needs that we need in life as individuals. And some days you need more. In some parts of your life, you need more of one than the other, or a few than the other, but they're all just as important. I know Maslow says there were 7 or 8, but Tony says there's 6. And one of them is certainty. Like we need to feel security. We need to be certain about certain things. Another one is, believe it or not, is uncertainty. So like variety. Some people crave having choice. Yeah. The third one is love and connection. You know, the fourth one would be contribution. Some people need to feel like they are contributing to something bigger than them. Fifth one is growth, and the sixth one is I can't remember what it is now. You're putting me on the spot, but it's like certainty, uncertainty, love and connection, contribution, growth, and something. I'm sure if you're watching this, you're going to put the research in anyway and find out. But as long as you can understand what type of person someone is then yeah.
So how many guys have you got working for you now?
Lose count, man. So we've just taken on 2 more last week, and hopefully another guy. We had a vacancy for 2, but I kind of subtly created 3 vacancies because we need another quota as well now. So
okay.
We had these 3 guys come in for a trial day. So I think we're now at about 25 or 26, maybe.
And that's in 6 years.
In 6 years, yeah, man.
Damn, that's impressive.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That is like, we've been going 5, and there's 5 of us.
Bro, to be honest, yeah, like 5 is a fucking good number, bro. I remember when there was 5 of us. It was sick, man. It was so sick. And you know, some people don't want to grow. I don't know if you want to grow, if you want to become bigger, if you want to, like,
that's
you know.
the goal. It's just, obviously, you stumble into hurdles, which you then got to get over, like, need a bigger yard. And then you know how fucking hard they are to get hold of.
Yes, yeah.
And once you get that, then right, I can get
yards are like rocking horse shit.
Yeah. And like once you get that, then you can get a third team.
Yeah.
And then you can sort of grow into like getting an office in there. Because at the moment, literally, I've got climbers, groundsmen. I will run a team. I will do all the admin. I will do all the quoting. And at the end of it, you're like, fuck. Like you've done so much. It's just, the end goal is eventually to have your office staff who do all your paperwork, have a quota who can do that. So you can kind of take a step back and then follow other avenues which you can't pursue fully because this takes up so much of your time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important you be in the moment like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Like the lessons that are to be learned when you are a leader at 5 staff is very different to the leader that you are going to be required to be when you are 10 staff, which is very different to the type of leader that you are required to be when you have 20 staff. And I'm sure when I get to 100 staff or maybe 500 staff, is a very different type of leader that I need to be.
It's all levels, really.
Yeah, but you need to make sure that you have to make sure that you are learning the lessons very quickly because you will very quickly find yourself not in this person and in this moment, and you will have to train someone else to be you, and if you don't know how to be you, then that person's going to now hit brick walls, and you're not going to know how to get that person out of that brick wall. And so I've worked every single role in my organization, every role, from the groundsman to the person who knows I can clean toilets very well. Yeah. Like I can do accounting very well. I can be marketing very well. I can be customer relationships very well. I can be, I can train my staff to be a good arborist very well. like auditing very well. Like we need to understand all of those micro elements of being in that role. So when you eventually offload it to someone, like as you say, your goal is to, you know, grow the team and get someone in the office and stuff. You need to be able to say, this is how you do it. This is what you do in this situation. This is how, if this thing happens, this is what you do. If this thing happens, this is what you do. And then you can let go. Yeah. And know that that's being handled.
Yeah.
So I'd just say like, just make the most of where you're at right now. Because one day when you are like where I'm at, like, you're going to be like, fuck, man. Like, I remember when things were back when we were just 5, it was sick, man. I had so much fun and my day is different. Whereas now my day, I don't do the stuff that I did when I was a 5-man team. You know, I don't go to the pub and have beers with my guys. You know, like that's the shit that you miss, man. Yeah. I miss going out and having beers. I'm too busy working in the office late, you know, like they all finish work. They all pack up, they all sharpen their saws and they make sure their vans are clean and then they go. And I used to go with them. Yeah. But I don't know more. You know, and it's
I'm at that point where it's bridging. Like, I've got to spend like 3-4 days now. Probably it's about 3 days in the office or out meeting clients, and the teams they finish early, go to the pub, and I'm just there sitting at the computer or talking to clients. Yeah, and we're kind of at that like pivoting point really, where it's like getting right. We need an admin staff in, and I enjoy it. To be fair, like if someone took one thing away from me, I'd miss it. Yeah, at that point. But when you're really busy, it's fucking mental. Yes. Like we a couple of months ago, I think about 5 months ago, 4 months ago. Yeah, we bought another company and absorbed it into our one.
Oh wow. So that's a big move, man.
Yeah, and
that's fucking sick.
So basically I took the number as well and I put it into a new phone. So I've got 2 phones, 2 work phones, and when it is full swing, it's just like constant ringing. Right, that one's rung. Right, okay, that one's ringing. They're both ringing, and you're like, fuck. And then when it's just you trying to deal with all of those clients trying to get hold of you, it can be a nightmare sometimes.
It can be, but I would just say, like we have said, you know, just appreciate the moment. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like appreciate the moment. I now have, I've like it took me 6 years to get a personal phone. Yeah, the first 6 years of building my business was everything is work. Yeah. My mum would call me on the same number as what Mrs. Smith would call me on, and my phone would have pictures of a dog, of my best friend's newborn baby, and number 28 Southbury Road 31's tree. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so, like, it's like, just appreciate the moment that you're in, because it will change very quickly. But there are lessons that have to be learned at this time of your life. Yeah. That if you don't embrace, you won't be able to leverage. And if you can't leverage that, one day when what is a £1,000 problem to you now or a £10,000 problem to you now will compound into a £1 million problem 10 years down the line, and if you didn't figure out how to solve that problem now, it becomes a fucking really big deal when you're where I'm at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's the same as leadership, really. It's that whole point of facing a problem, opposed to like just trying to sweep it under the carpet.
Yeah, there's no sweeping shit under the carpet, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might be able to sweep something under the carpet, but like my brother always says, you know, he who's lazy works the hardest. Yeah. Like if you don't do it now, you're gonna have to do it later, innit? So you keep sweeping shit under the carpet if you want to sweep shit under the carpet, but when eventually someone lifts up that carpet, someone's gonna have to be held accountable for that shit, and it's probably gonna be you, because you're a piece of shit that fucking swept shit under the carpet rather than using a dustpan and brush and fucking dealing with it in that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like when I first started out, problems. I was like, fuck, man, let's forget about them. And then like 2 years later, you're like, maybe I should have done something about that. And now it's just like you get a problem. I'm like, right, we got to deal with it, because if you leave it, it's just gonna fester.
And also, like, what kind of example does that lead to the rest of the people around you? You know, let's say you're trying to lead an organization to being great, like to being the fucking best. Yeah, like dominating, like, and then one of your colleagues sees you sweeping shit under the carpet. Like the benchmark has now been set. We sweep shit under the carpet, and that's where it fucking stays, and we make it tomorrow's problem. Or you can fucking be a bad boy leader and deal with it there and then in the way that you're supposed to, and set the benchmark to here. So now whenever someone walks past that piece of dirt, everyone's picking it up with a dustpan and brush, and not just, I'm talking metaphorically,
Yeah.
but like everyone's doing it in the way that you have set the benchmark for it to be done.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially like when you are a leader in that aspect, like everyone does look to you and they do follow your actions. It's not like they see, oh, he's just the boss. Like, you know.
So they should, though. You know, you should lead from the front.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, look
100%.
at all of the absolute leaders, the heroes, the legends, the icons that have gone through like in society. The fucking Michael Jordans, the fucking Elon Musks, the Steve Jobses, like the like, you know, even like the new age Steve Bartlett's and all them guys, yeah, like they lead from the front.
Yeah.
They get their hands dirty, they get on with it. They like, and if you're either on board and with me, or you're not on board, and just fuck off, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I need people around me who are like me, who want to strive for excellence, who want to be the best. And if you're not that, get off the fucking train, because we're going that way, innit? And we don't really want to be carrying you on this train, because
I mean,
someone.
Like, I'll say, if you're a leader, you do get stuck in. You're not a leader if you're not mucking in. You're the boss.
Yes. Yeah.
And too many people want to be the boss, opposed to the leader who gets stuck in the shit with everyone, working late sometimes or a lot of the time, and just setting examples, really.
Bro, like you as a leader, you have to be like that. You just, there's just no other. I won't like other leaders won't respect you.
Yeah.
You know, if all you do is just tell people what to do, like, and also how future proof is that? You know, like, you know, you just, there's a way of being a good leader, especially in this day and age, and it's very different to how you had to be a leader 25, 50 years ago.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you know, and we're now in the process of everyone has the opportunity to create generational wealth. Wealth, man. Like, you know, and if you're not seen to be a leader, generational wealth will be dispersed very fucking quickly, and someone else will take your slot.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't, by the way, you don't have to be the guy at the top of an organization to be successful or wealthy. If you think that you need to be the boss to be successful, you've already lost the battle. Yeah, everyone relies on someone. I rely on my team for certain things, and my team rely on me for certain things. You know, and you don't have to run your own business to be successful. There are some people who work in my organization that make a fucking lot of money, and we ain't even scratched the surface yet with what they're going to be earning in the future, because they've been loyal to our organization, because they've been with me for a long time, or because I can rely on them for doing a particular set of tasks, and I don't have to watch my back, and I don't have to worry about trust. Like, they are on board and we are all in, just like I am all in. And there is, and I'm still growing, and this organization is still growing. So there's going to be a lot of room for you in this organization later on down the line when we become the biggest tree surgery company in the UK. But you need to be on my team, because if you're not on my team, you're on someone else's team. And if you're on someone else's team, you might come on our team at some point in the future, but you're not going to benefit like these guys are benefiting from. They're going to benefit from the brand. Yeah. You know, the goal. Everybody's on board with the goal. And when we get there, it will be very fruitful for everyone. And you need to be very careful to not be greedy now. You need to invest. Like that money, you could probably be on another £1,000 a year, another £2,000 a year, or I can put that £2,000 towards us growing, or me helping you with your next personal level of growth, and investing that on you going onto that course, or us investing on that another piece of equipment, or marketing ourselves. Because that's my job. Yeah, my job is to disperse the money we have in the organization and spend it wisely. And my team need to rely on me for that and know that it's being spent very well. And if it's not being spent very well on the things that it should be, then the organization is going to suffer because of that, you know? So,
100%.
You know, there's a story that I like to tell people when it comes to not being too greedy too early, or not looking at other people and thinking and being misinterpreting a situation. And it's like an old fable story about like the goose, the golden goose. Have you heard the story of the goose?
Vaguely, it rings a bell.
So there's this guy, and he has this goose, right? And it delivers one golden egg every single day. So every day he goes into this hatch and he opens up this hatch, and the goose gives him, lays this golden egg. And he takes that golden egg every day, and he goes out and he spends it, right? And he lives his life like that, this one golden egg. And a few years go by, and he starts looking around, and he's like looking at all of his friends and these other people in society, and he's like, why has that guy got 2 golden eggs? And why has that guy got 3 golden eggs? Yeah. So he goes up to his golden goose, and he goes, I need 2 golden eggs from you tomorrow, right? And the goose is like, obviously the goose doesn't actually talk, but like this is a story, yeah. But the goose goes, I can only give you 1, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's like, well, tomorrow I'm gonna come here tomorrow, and I'm gonna expect 2 golden eggs from you. So the guy goes away, comes back the next day, opens up the hatch, 1 golden egg. Man, I fucking told you, man. Like, I need 2. Like, look at what fucking Bob's got. Look at what David's got. I need 2 eggs from you tomorrow. And the goose is like, I can't give you. But okay, the guy goes away, spends his 1 golden egg that day, comes back, opens the hatch, sees that there's just 1 golden egg in there. And he's like, I fucking told you, man. I told you, I've been telling you for the last few days, I need 2 golden eggs. You know what? Fuck it. If you're not going to go out and get it, I'm going to do it myself. And he fucking cuts this, he gets his knife, and he cuts the golden goose open, slices it open, right? And in that moment, opens up this goose, and he expecting there to be 5 eggs in there. Yeah? In this, expecting there to be 5 eggs in there. And there's none. And now he's realized, now he sits back and he's like, shit, what have I done? I've made a mess, and now I have nothing. And it's very similar to the situation with some people in society, is they're so quick, or, you know, you've got some people that work in an organization, they want to cash in on everything right now. And they don't realize just what they have in front of them. And you have a really good opportunity right now. Some people have a very good opportunity right in front of them. And this particular employer or this organization is giving you 1 golden egg every day. Now, it's up to you what you do with that golden egg every day. That's yours. You decide that. But stop looking around at all these other people that seem to have all these other things, because you have no idea what they've done with to get that golden egg. Yeah, they may be doing spending 1 egg and saving 3. They may be saving 2, spending 5. You know, and in the same conversation as we discussed wealth the other day, like earlier, yeah, they may be giving some away to check. Like, you don't know. You just don't know, you know, and that they may have been stashing 1 away every single week and for the last 15 years, and now they can, because they've been invested in that 1 golden egg, it now that investment now delivers 3 golden eggs, additional golden eggs a year, yeah, and that's what you're seeing from Bob, Dave, Jill, yeah. So the moral of the story of that, for me, and what I got from that story when I read it, was to not be greedy, yeah, and appreciate what you have in front of you. And trust me, chances are, if you've got a good boss, he's giving you absolutely fucking everything he can. He actually is, you know. And don't get me wrong. If you feel like you can do better, go out, bro. Like, go do you, yeah. Go get the van, go get the chipper, go get the thing, go do that, go invest in stuff, go do all of that. And then, you know what? Pay him the money that you think I mean, because you'll probably realize very quickly that that money's not there. It's being invested somewhere else. So the moral of the story, going back to it, is don't cut your golden goose open thinking that you're going to get 5. You won't. You'll probably end up with not a lot. And that guy now has no golden eggs every single day. All for what? Greed?
Yeah. I think it's a massive trap though, isn't it? Comparing yourself with others. Yeah. And again, like, I go back to like the younger generation, especially. I fall into that trap many times. Like, just seeing like other people and you're like, why aren't I there in life yet? And it's just that point, and then you got to get over that. And it's like you have people that like try and fit into like the group that they looking like up to, and then everything's financed, and you're kind of like killing yourself to live an image that is a lie.
Bro, the thing is, like, if you want to finance something, finance it. It's fine, yeah. But just like understand how finance works, okay? Yeah. Like, you can have good finance and you can have bad finance. You could be financing a depreciating asset. You can be financing appreciating asset. You could, there are like, finance has a place in society.
Oh, 100%.
As long as it's done properly. Yeah. And what tends to happen is people aren't financially educated or intelligent enough, or haven't given themselves, spent enough money to be financially like to be just to, they haven't educated themselves enough to know that there is good debt and there is bad debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say the way I look at it is like, most people finance liabilities.
Yes.
Opposed to finance assets.
Assets. Yeah.
And that's the big difference.
And that's it. And you know, if you finance assets, things that bring additional things to your life, whether it be cash flow, whether it be something you can leverage, you know, if you were to finance a van for £1,000 a month, but that van was to make you profit, not turnover, like, and that's that's what some people get confused.
Yeah.
If that van doesn't bring you more than £1,000 profit every month, then it probably is a bad investment. Yeah. But the finance isn't the problem. It was the thing that you calculated. Whereas if you have a van that costs you £1,000 every month and it brings in net £2,000 profit every month, that's not a bad debt. That finance deal was probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And as long as you have the work to support that and you've thought it through very thoroughly, and obviously you understand that you've got to pay profit on those £2,000 profit, and you know, and there's so many more things that come to the game.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad finance agreement. You know what I mean?
Good. That's good finance.
It's good finance.
I think like finance for business is good pretty much most of the time. Finance for personal things is normally where it starts going downhill.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could be financing an asset. You know, that is an appreciating asset, and you might be able to get a good enough when you finance things personally on your personal name. If you've got good credit, you could probably get it for anywhere in the region of 3% and 6%, right? So if your asset is appreciating more than, let's say, 10% every single year guaranteed, that's not a bad finance thing to do personally, because you've got to bear in mind, not people aren't all like us. Most people are like, have jobs. Yeah. So they get a certain amount of money every single year, whether it be 20, 30, 40,000 pound a year, 50, 60, 80, 100, whatever. But that's that amount of money that they get every year. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. It stays the same. People like me and you, we don't really know how it's going to go this year. We can just guarantee what our expenses are.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had some years when I first started out and the money was fucking terrible. In fact, the first 2 years was technically a financial loss. Yeah. But now we're making good profit margins that I can reinvest that. It took a certain point for us to get there, but we're there now. But whereas normally if you're an employee, you only have a certain amount of money that's coming in. So what you spend that money on, if you're going to invest it, needs to bring a good return. Do you know what I mean? Because we can't solve that problem with cash flow. We can't solve that problem with savings. We can't solve that. They need to make sure they spend that money on that stuff wisely. And people fall into the trap very quickly on, as you say, spending money on stuff they probably shouldn't to facilitate a short-term high. That eventually, when your mates have all seen that nice car and they know you've got it, or your mates have all seen that Gucci bag, or I don't know what stupid shit people spend their money on these days, but like, once people know you've got it and you still own finance on it and you don't even use it anymore, and actually it's fucking got a hole in it now and you still owe money on it, that's so stupid. Come on, man, bro, like, really, we really going there? Really, you're really going to spend that much money on that fucking t-shirt?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't got it, bro. Don't spend it. Stop trying to keep up with the fucking Kardashians or fucking Spid Smiths. You're not there yet. You will get there one day, but spend that money that you had on that deposit to secure that finance on something that was going to help create generational wealth, understanding, knowledge, friendships, you know, something else that's going to be an intangible value to you and your future, rather than walking into a club and spraying fucking, I don't know what they spray these days, Dom Perignon or something like that. What do they spray?
No idea. But I know what you mean. It's say, like, with me, I'm now at the point where I do finance a fair bit, but the decision behind it is, if it's not bringing money in, it's not getting financed.
No.
And that's simple. If it's not going to bring money in, but you have the money to buy it outright and you can buy it comfortably, that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't break yourself.
But you have to go through the lessons.
Yeah.
I've spent some really stupid money on some really stupid things, yeah. Like really stupid. Like I've done it, yeah. I've got myself involved in debt before, like in bad debt. I've been there, yeah. I've spent credit cards that I probably shouldn't have spent. I've gone on holidays that I probably shouldn't have gone on. Like I've been there, yeah. And I've learned the lesson very quickly to not ever fall into that trap ever again. And I'm out of it now, and all is good, and I'm all clean, and I'm back to be able to helping people. But bad debt can lead you to so many fucking bad places, and
100%.
And when you haven't got a way out, man, like I can only imagine that being a terrible place to be, because I've been there, and
it's like people that gamble and stuff like that. I know people who have like almost lost their houses because of the debt from gambling, and like their partners didn't even know that they gamble, and the next they get a letter saying like, we're gonna take your house.
Yeah,
like,
bro, like that's a horrible place to be, and I don't, and I don't wish that upon my worst of enemies, man. Like that's got to be a very dark place to be, and that takes us back to the conversation really when it comes to mental health and what to do about it when you come to that stuff. And there is always a way out.
Yeah.
And we all have our own insecurities, bro. Trust me, like I am the most insecure person when it comes to some things, and I've had to learn and overcome that. Like skin has always been one of my biggest insecurities. Like, even before we got onto this podcast, I said to you, like, bro, can we switch places? Like, I got this massive fucking spot on the side of this. But acne has always been a problem for me, and it's always been like a big insecurity for me. Same thing with, for example, my teeth. Like, I hate my teeth. Like I've got these little nugget chip teeth that, like, I'm insecure. Like I'm insecure, but I'm aware of it. I'm not gonna let it consume me, and I'm gonna be conscious of the decisions that I make day to day that are gonna not lead to me pursuing the worst version of myself. It's actually I'm gonna leverage it to be the best version of myself.
I think as soon as you start overcoming or challenging your anxieties or your insecurities, you just grow so massively. Like for me, I have a big anxiety about speaking out in public.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd never think that, bro.
Nah, and I fucking started a podcast.
That's amazing.
And like for me, I was first episode, right? I was shitting myself. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna sit at a mic and mumble. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And you just get into it, and it's just like now it's just great. Like just from one experience of like doing something which you were anxious of.
But that's a big breakthrough, man.
Yeah,
like, that's a massive. That must have been a big breakthrough for you, right?
Yeah. Because now I'm looking at TED talking, like going out speaking to people about mental health and stuff like that, and trying to go along the route of becoming a motivational speaker, and that's something I want to go now pursue fully, as well as like obviously my tree business as well will always be there, like because I've always had a passion for that. I don't want to. I've given up so much for it. I don't want to just let it die.
Yeah.
But there's other avenues as well, which are like through.
It's amazing,
myself.
right? Like when you actually have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
When you have a breakthrough of an insecurity, like, and similarly like what you say with public speaking and with me, with my skin and spots and my teeth and, the way that people might think about you. Once you have a breakthrough and you get through that one thing, you realize very quickly that the world is your oyster, and you can do anything that you set your mind to, because it's probably not that bad. And similarly to someone with their fear of heights, if they were to skydive, like once you get past that barrier that actually heights isn't that bad, you realize that, wow, what else have I been missing out on because of my fear of doing this?
It's kind of like overthinking. Like you just overthink it so much that it's going to be this like massively bad thing. And you go and do it, and it's like, oh, that wasn't actually that bad.
Wasn't that bad?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really powerful place to be, man. So well done on even.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I know this is your second podcast, but I've been watching you on your social media, and you've been speaking more with your cigar talks, and I think it's whiskey as well, is it? You like a whiskey?
Yeah, no, I've started becoming a cocktail connoisseur at the moment.
That's right.
Everyone at home is getting cocktails left, right, and centre at the moment. It's
you need to invite me round because I'm a big espresso martini fan. I'm all in for.
Yes.
I'm all in for sort of judging you on your espresso martini.
I'm yet to make one, but I'll hit you up when that time comes.
Yeah, definitely, man. Is there anything that you think that I can maybe give you a little bit of advice on, like other than what we've already spoken about, or like what are you trying to break through at the moment that you think?
At the moment, I've kind of like, obviously I've just recently had like the breakthrough with like, right, I feel comfortable now speaking in front of people. I want to go out and try and change people's lives, like help people in an aspect of going out speaking to like audiences and stuff like that. So you get that part where you kind of like know where you want to go. You just need to formulate a plan. I think like relating back to business, you have a goal, you have a destination, but if you don't have a plan, you're never going to get there.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at the moment, is trying to put together a plan to go from, right, okay, I've started a podcast, this is where I want the podcast to be, plan. And then same with the public speaking.
Do you know what I realized as well with podcasts, even like, you know, and now that you've broke through this barrier with the public speaking or even speaking on a podcast and broadcasting it is, like I've been on quite a few podcasts and really all it is just a chat with some mates like with just two people that have got something in common and then just like helping others find a breakthrough or, you know, helping someone else realize they're not the only one or something like that, you know, and I think even just that is something very powerful, man.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would say these last 12 months have been the most challenging of my life, but at the same time, the most beautiful for what has come to fruition.
I'd say the same thing. I mean, for me in the last 6 months, you know, having gone through for the moment January hit 2022, shit started going down. Bro, I cannot even explain to you, but you know, as we said earlier in the podcast, you know, like that, like we will leverage it, we will move, we will become better, bigger people because of that, and hopefully we'll be able to utilize what we've gained over the last 6 months or over your year to be able to give to someone else as a gift and help them become a better version of themselves. Yeah,
I think just before we wrap up, well, I think as the wrap up, what would be your one bit of advice that you could tell to anyone that could potentially sort of help them or change their life a little bit?
What would I say? In context of being an entrepreneur or someone in this industry, right? In anything.
Anything.
One thing that I will say, do you know what? I'll just give a little bit of advice as to someone that I spoke to on the way actually yesterday when I was getting my car cleaned. Someone came up to me and was like, "Yo, I've been following you for a while, man. Like, I've been watching all your content. It's sick. Like, thank you for it." Like, he literally, bro, he went in and you know, you just feel like some Steve Bartlett or something. Like, how does this guy even know this much about me? Oh, what's this video that you did with da-da-da? So I'll say the advice that I gave to that guy is that he was like, I don't know what to like, you know, and I said, no matter what happens in life, you will need a team. Yeah, you are never like you will never be able to be self-sufficient. Yeah, so like, you know, even if you have your own business, if you're an employee in an organization, if you are someone who is just starting out, you don't have to have your own business because you will eventually need to find your own team, and everyone needs a team. There's no one, even the guy right at the top needs a good team in the same way as wherever you fit within an organization. So what I would say is just go out and find someone or a group of people that are just as ambitious, if not more ambitious than what you are, and fucking join that team. And when you join that team, be all in on that fucking team. Don't stop, be all in on that organization, and it will be very fruitful for you for the foreseeable future, because there will be no point in your life that you will never need a team and you will be your own boss and you will be, it's all fake. Yeah. You need good people around you all the time, and you don't always have to be the guy right at the top, because that guy is probably going through something like what I've said in this podcast with my struggle for infertility or my health and stuff like that. You never know what that it takes to get to there. So find a group of people, find someone that is willing to help you and you're willing to help them, and fucking aim for the stars and back, because that's the way that you get successful.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And that wraps it up.
Yeah, bro. In fact, bro, I just wanted to say one more time, I really appreciate you having me on here. I've had so much fun with you today and just talking. And I've also, I'm looking forward to seeing which cigar you choose out of this stuff after we finish the podcast. And hopefully some point soon we get to sit down and smoke a proper cigar together. Yeah. And maybe you can make me one of those amazing cocktails you make.
That's it. Sounds like a plan. Thank you very much, Lawrence.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys.